Dieting doesn't work because when your body gets out of a state of health to where you're gaining weight and to where your health is failing, part of the reason that your body gets to that state is because it's not properly nourished. If your body's already not properly nourished and you're eating at whatever caloric level that you're eating at, and you simply cut back on those calories, your body is even less nourished. And so what the body does when it's not nourished is it goes into something that we call the famine state, which means that anything that you eat, no matter what it is, your body's going to hoard it and store it in its fat cells to protect itself against future starvation. So if your diet is not full of highly nutritious foods, and say, I'm just going to throw something out, say that you're eating a diet of McDonald's, okay? And out of 100% of the calories that you're eating at McDonald's, maybe 0.5 to 1% is going to be utilized with your body as fuel. And so your body's not getting enough nourishment, right? And the bulk of what you're eating is not nourishing your body, it's actually stressing your body. Because those foods inflame your body. They inflame your body on a cellular level. What that means is that, what inflammation means is that the substances that you're putting in your body are actually irritating to your body. So they don't nourish you, they irritate you. And so you're going to hear more and more in the medical world, they're using this word inflammation to refer to the core state of the body that leads into many of the diseases that we're seeing. Aside from obesity, also heart disease, cardiovascular disease, heart problems in general, cancers, many cancers are from inflammation. And so if you have a diet high in inflammatory foods, and your body's getting inflamed not just because these foods are causing inflammation and there's a high volume of them going into your system that you are on a cellular level reacting to, aside from that, you're just not getting very much nourishment to begin with. You follow? And so if you simply cut the calories, is your body going to drop fat? No, it's not going to. Because all you're doing is you're reducing that nourishment intake by even more. So if we take that example of McDonald's and 100% of your diet, say, is McDonald's, and maybe 0.5 to 1% of that is going to be utilized as nutrition, and then you cut that back simply by cutting calories, how much have you reduce that actual nutrition that you are going to see on a cellular level? How much of that is actually going to nourish you? Even less. And so what people find because of this famine response that the body does is that they can be eating next to nothing and still gaining weight. In the fitness world, we see that we see this dynamic a whole lot. We see people that barely eat, that are in the gym doing cardio all the time. So if we take the example that we first started with McDonald's, and you're eating a diet that is 100% McDonald's, and I hope that's not the case, and we're estimating that 0.5 to 1% of that is actual nutrition seen by your body. If you simply cut down the calories of McDonald's that you're eating, are you going to lose weight? No, because what you're doing is you're further reducing that 0.5 to 1% of nutrition. So your body's even getting less nutrition. And that's going to increase that famine response, that your body is going to want to gain weight and store whatever you're eating into the fat cells of your body to safeguard against future lack of nourishment. This phenomenon is really popular in the athletic world when we're talking about folks that are in the gym, or we're talking about the population of runners that when they want to drop weight, they simply cut back their calories and increase their cardiovascular activity. And it doesn't work because what you're doing is you're upping your activity, decreasing your nutrition, and your body's still not getting enough nutrition to even run. to meet its basic needs. If the body's not getting enough nutrition to meet its basic needs, it's going to store everything that you bring in as fat, no matter how much activity you do. Now, if we take that athletic population and we say that that athletic population is on top of eating very few calories and overworking their bodies with exercise, what kind of foods are they going to crave? They're not going to crave tuna and alfalfa sprouts. They're going to be craving sugar, they're going to be craving packaged foods, they're going to be craving quick nutrition, right? Quick foods, usually in the form of processed refined foods. And so now we're going to further reduce the nutrition that we're eating, because even less of the calories that they're eating are going to be quality calories used by the body. And so that's a dynamic seen in the diet world all the time. And so dieting doesn't work because every time you reduce those calories, especially if those calories are not high content nutrition, you've actually reduced the nutrition your body's giving yourself more stress, putting yourself deeper into that famine state, and your body's going to gain even more weight. Now, in some cases, what people will say, and this happens a lot, when folks usually start dieting and they try reducing their calories, that will usually work the first couple times. The reason is because the body's never done that before, but it won't burn fat. What it burns is muscle tissue. And so we've all seen people that get smaller but don't look better. They actually look worse. And that's a term known in the fitness industry as skinny fat. Because if your body does not have enough calories to support basic nutrition and to support its basic needs, it's not going to burn fat. It's going to burn muscle. Muscle is a very dense tissue that is very expensive to the body to feed. Muscle is going to cost the body about 50 calories a day per pound in energy to keep. Fat, on the other hand, only costs the body maybe 1 or 2 calories per pound per day to keep. So if the body's not getting enough nutrition, it's not getting enough calories, what tissue is it going to burn? It's not going to burn fat because fat is cheap to the body. It's going to burn muscle. And so on the scale, on the floor, it may appear that the person is losing weight, and they indeed may get smaller, but they're burning a whole lot of muscle tissue at the same time. So the person does that, they get smaller, they burn that muscle, and we've all seen what that looks like. It's kind of a soft look when people lose weight real fast like that. Their faces get really gaunt, they'll be tired and drawn. That's the result of that low-calorie dieting. And then when they go back to eating, what are they going to go back to eating? Because they've been starving themselves. They're going to go back to eating the way they were eating before, right? And they're going to be hungrier. And so how fast is that weight going to come back? Really fast. And the kicker is, and you'll hear this over and over from people who diet that way, they gain back more weight. The reason they gain back more weight is because that famine mode is active and you've lost muscle. And the body is desperate for some nutrition. And so it'll start storing everything you eat when you come off a very low-calorie diet. And so from dieting, we don't learn how to take care of our bodies as a healthy unit. All we do is learn how to starve ourselves and put ourselves in that hole a little deeper. And so we end up on this merry-go-round. One of the things that we hear in Genesis Transformation quite frequently is, well, I used to be able to eat this, this, and this, and this when I was 25, and my body would stay the same. And now that I'm in my late 30s, early 40s, I eat these things and I get overweight, and I don't understand what that is. It must be because I'm old. And what I'd like to throw out there is that our bodies are not meant to age. We're not designed to degenerate. But over time, the abuses that you do to your body build and build and build and build. And there just becomes some point that your body has had enough and begins to rapidly degenerate. Not only that, but the inflammation process that we talked about earlier is becoming more and more chronic. And so the more chronic the inflammation in your cells become, that goes into your joints, it goes into your organs, it goes into your muscle tissue, it inflames your entire body, and this is where we go into diseases. And when your body is losing its state of health, aging, is a symptom of a loss of health.